bum, bum. And we are going live. There we go. There. Awesome. Oops, where'd you go?
Yep.
Got
Hiya.
this Bing thing here. Okay, here we go. All right. Good morning. It is Monday morning, and I am Brenda, and I am here with Dr. Dave and Conversations with the Devas. Good morning, Dr. Dave. How you doing today?
Good morning, beautiful. Doing great. Thank you. Thank you
Awesome.
for letting me be here with you. And it's always a great pleasure and fun energy to be here every morning, Monday morning.
It is always fun to hang out with you, and I love your rainbow of colors behind there. It looks so awesome.
I love that. It just is. I just want to drink it in. I just love, especially in offices and everything else that I've had. I always make sure that there's the colors are the whole spectrum has got to be represented. Um, I have a couple actually blankets that I had for the treatment tables when we did energy therapy, so that
Right?
people could just soak it in and
Mm,
bring in vibrate whatever clear color that you need and whatever's drawn to you and oh, love it,
that's awesome.
love it.
Love it, love it, love it.
I think
Because
I
our
have that actually
bodies
on
will
my.
take that color and do whatever it needs to do for us inside, which is awesome.
Mhm. Yeah, this just was popping in.
Hmm.
We probably would be. I'm wondering. Let's do this.
Yes,
I'm gonna edit that a little bit. Wondering if some of our folks that they get to join us for learning the oils and how to use them and with the cards and everything and the divas, what a great opportunity to be able to learn the oils and the chakra system
absolutely. And
because
that's
they're
so
very
important
specific.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, those are fun.
Yes. And to work with them and know when they're needing clearing or when they're open and you need to maybe close them.
Right?
There we go.
I'm sure there's probably folks that might not even it didn't enter in to the realm of thinking that essential oils can be that should be part of your maintenance of your chakra system.
Hmm.
Even though because it is that energetic body, so if we think about the oils of having that energetic frequency, because they actually do have that frequency, each one of them vibrated very different, megahertz, and so that coincides with the exact frequency that the chakra or the plant or the tree, wherever we're getting the oil from, have, and so
Absolutely.
that's so much fun.
And then tie that with the Healy as well and knock it out of the park.
Mm-hmm. Healy, you say? What's that?
Yes, I do. My Healy that I wear every day, and it sends frequencies to the person. You can send them long distance, and it works on the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. So it helps on all different levels with so many different things, with pain management, with focusing. There's a wonderful aura analysis, which lets you know what your chakras are doing. So it's a great
It's
place to
really cool.
start when you can see where your chakras are at. And then it also helps with goal setting. So it'll let you know, okay, well, if this is your goal, then these are the things that are in the way of you attaining that. But we're going to send frequencies to that to release that and help you move forward. So it's a very, very, very good tool. So it's well worth getting one for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mhm.
Okay, so I have my three cards, and the first one is Citronella, and that sits at the resources that we currently have. So let's take a
Hmm.
look. Wake up, wake up. There is no time to lose. I'm Citronella, and I am here to remind you that life is short. So make the most of it. Are you putting off something? Making excuses why you're not moving forward? Well, my friend, that is not why you chose to be here. You have a spark within you wanting to burn brightly for all to see. What are you waiting for? What are you afraid of? Your life is a gift that you have been given. You are meant to live and dream large. You possess infinite potential. Embrace it. Well, that's a powerful card
Wow.
to start the day with.
Absolutely.
So when we're talking about resources, we're talking about we are beings of light. We are infinite potential. And even though our whole lives have been pretty much squashed that you can't do this and you can't do this, and all these beliefs from well-meaning family, friends, churches, schools, all that, most of it's not true. We are infinite potential. We only use, as everybody knows, because we've heard it millions of times before, we use 10% of our brain. What's going on with the other 90? There's so much potential in there
Right.
that we can access if we commit to ourselves to doing so, if we commit to having these rituals of using essential oils, using these tools to expand our minds, to expand our thinking. And we take back those keys and we're driving the bus. It's amazing what you can do with your mind. And, you might go, oh, but it's true. We have been taught that that's not right because we are powerful
Mhm.
and nobody wants us to shine. But I'm here to tell you, it's okay to shine. And it's okay to shine as bright as you possibly can, because that's what we're down here to do, is to shine as bright as possible, to help as many people in the world. And it starts with you. It starts with one person committing to know that they are infinite potential, and then to see where that takes you.
Yeah.
What do you say, Dr. Dave?
Oh, that's beautiful. Actually, in the chat, I'm gonna find the link for a YouTube short video. Lisa Nichols. It's one of my favorites. It's an excerpt of one of her workshops, and it's about shining your light
Oh, cool.
and shine as bright as you can. So everything you were just talking about, and it was all same, almost the same. It was the same vibration, but it was almost I for word kind of. I was like, wow, that's
Wow.
it was
That's
really
cool.
cool. Yeah, yeah. Um, so shining our light and feeling the judgment of others, that is, that stagnation can happen of being stuck in their paradigm, being stuck in their restrictions, their whatever lens they're using to see the world and what they can or can't do, they overlay on us usually, from our tribes to our teachers to, our community, government. That's another story, not going there. But it's um, I, in finding out if it actually translates to is it our truth? Is it a filter for us that we are adopting, or should we let that go? We've been talking about that for quite a few weeks now.
Mm.
When citronella comes up for someone, when it for clients, the first thing that and it was fun for me when I was introduced to it as an essential oil. It was a dear friend of mine, Farah, in Alaska, and she had gifted folks that had come to some workshops. Everybody had gotten an oil, and she said, "I'm not giving this to you because you go kayaking and you go camping all the time and you're outside and all that kind of thing. I'm giving this to you for an inward journey for you to take a look at it from the emotional causation, why you might want to use citronella." I'm like, okay. It blew me away of like, I never thought of that. I'm like, it's mosquitoes, it's repellent, okay. I, okay, and then I'm like, wait. So the first thing I think of is irritated usually. If I have to use citronella, it's because I'm irritated because of the damn mosquitoes.
Oh, that makes sense.
So, as we actually started looking into it, it is actually along the same lines. Is it's an irritation to your environment, and in metaphorically. I literally just had this conversation yesterday morning with somebody, and it is it's about having the irritation of what's happening at home or at work, wherever you happen to be, and you're not able to control it the way that you want. So those are some of those symptoms that it can help alleviate, that's what I wanted, and make a little bit more palatable so that you can find a way for it to be okay still in your space. And because then you're kind of disconnecting of what's yours and what isn't. So if it's
Mhm.
not yours, unplug. That's to me what citronella is. I my ex family on the other side of the state and at home knew if I was putting citronella in the diffuser in the living room, everybody knew I wasn't happy about something at home. It's like, is that citronella? I'm like, yep. Oh God, what did? And then I loved it. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
Because everybody started doing that mental check in their head. What didn't I get done? What was I supposed to do? It works very well.
Yep.
But that's why I use citronella in a diffuser. But it's obviously it is all those things that are irritants. But it still blows me away when I think of it. That I don't know. It was really really cool to think of that the metaphor of what it is and what it does and what it brings. And so yeah, that's what I
Absolutely. That's a really awesome way to think of it. And with that as well, just something to add to that, if you're irritated with your current situation, now's a really good time to change it.
mm,
And citronella can help you.
right.
So might want to go and get some
Hmm. Hmm.
because that is going to help you. Doing it yourself is one thing, but using the essential oils with it just amps it up so much better and
Yeah.
easier. And they work in the background, so you don't really notice what's happening until, months later, and you look back and go, wow, like I did. And so using the essential oils each day really help move you forward that much
Hmm.
faster than just doing it yourself. Either way is fine, but if you want to get there faster, utilize the tools that Mother Earth has given us. And one of them is essential oils, and they are quite powerful because each of them does have a frequency, like Dr. Dave said. And when we raise our frequency, we see other things open that were always there. We just couldn't see them because we weren't dialed in to that frequency.
Right.
So, on to the next one, Helichrysum. And this
Mm.
is things that we need to release. So let's see what we need to let go of today.
Mm.
Hey, I'm Helichrysum. I help remind you to take a step back and breathe. Calm and centered is my mantra. Being calm and centered helps me work with you on a deeper level, gently removing emotional blocks. Animals love me too, restoring patience and persistence. If you're having a rough go of a situation or trying to manifest a goal, my essence can help you find the strength to keep moving forward one step at a time to the realization of your goal. So, this is really helpful because when we are creating goals, sometimes we like it, sometimes we like it in our time. Well, we want it now. We want it yesterday. That was me before. It's like, I want this done yesterday, not today, not tomorrow, yesterday. And I would, go forward as a steamroller, and that really didn't work too well for me. So when you're creating goals, there is universal time. And that's the time that the universe works on, not your time, not anybody else's time, universal time. Because the universe is in the background putting all these people and all these experiences and all these situations all over the world to come together to happen when it needs to happen. So there's a lot going on in the background that you do not see. Now, the thing is, if we don't get it in our time, it'll be like, this is crazy. These things don't work. I'm done. This goal isn't coming. And then you know what happens? The universe is like, puts the brakes on and goes, okay, you don't want it. And it stops. That's it. That's all. So instead of doing that, because it does take time, the universe is busy because it doesn't just have you to do goals for, it has everybody else in the world that decided to make goals. So it's kind of busy. Is believing and being calm and centered, knowing in your heart that it's going to happen. It's just like, and I think I've probably said this before, if you plant seeds in your garden in the springtime, are you out there every day digging it up going, why aren't you growing? What's going on? What's taking you so long? No, you wait because you know it's going to grow. It needs to create a root system. It needs to start growing. There's a lot of things that need to happen in the background before it can come up and be whatever plant or fruit or vegetable that you planted. So just like that, any of your goals that you create need time to get everything, that foundation set, so that when it does happen, it is going to take you to the next level. And it's bigger than you ever dreamed possible. However, when you're calm and centered, you have that faith that it's going to happen. So releasing any doubt, releasing this doesn't work, releasing any, well, I don't know how this is going to turn out. You don't need to know. You really don't. You determined, you put in your goal that this is what I want, and the universe is going to go, all right, let's make that happen. And it's going to be so much better than you ever dreamed possible. But you don't need to know the how. You don't know how. You don't need to know how it's going to show up, just that it is. So Helichrysum is here to remind you to let go of the doubt, let go of the how, let go of this doesn't work and I don't know why I'm doing this. Because when you do, you put a stop on everything and then everything halts. And then your brain's like, see, I told you. No. Just have the faith that it's going to happen in universal time, which is the best time for it to happen for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Good stuff. Love that.
What do you got, Dr. Dave?
With um I'm putting that together with everything that you were just talking about, and Helichrysum, I know in the company that I use, and get the oils from is in every every one of the products that are for anti-aging and everything. Um, because it really is it's helping release any of the wrinkles or the things that time has created, in our skin and in the elasticity of our tissue. Um, but it also is, and for some reason, it keeps bringing me back to it's the first thing that I go to that helps with relieving bruises. It helps the body reabsorb um, and get rid of the bruise. So that's just coagulated blood, underneath the skin. So it helps get it reabsorbed and process it the way that it should. To me, it's a high vibration one. It definitely is. So, but the what I love is because it is that high frequency, but it is so gentle and really under the surface. Um, it's moving. Oh, that just popped in. So it's a time shifter.
Mm.
It's able to remove some of the time that has been brought into that's being held in our DNA, our skin cells, our the elasticity, because that's really what it is time has shrunken, if you will, some of those fibers, and that's how it starts creating the stretch marks, the bags and the lines and stuff. So it gets scrunched in, so where that's how we get a line. So it's removing the time that was in there.
Mm.
I guess I'll be journaling about this today. This is fun. I wish they, I wish my folks would have give that to me before we got on the air. Um, I guess that's where it is. So for whoever else needs to hear this, because they're not given much yet, but it's a time shifter, and if it's helping, if there's things that need to be removed out of your history, removing that time part, might want to take a look at working with Helichrysum and see
Mm.
how that might help. Um, well, that's fun. Just in.
Wow, that's awesome. And just something to add that just popped in as well is when you've got a goal and then you're thinking about the past, well, I'm not going to wish for that because this is what happened last time. Or, well, this happened before, so I'm not going to be able to do that again because it didn't work the first time. So using that Helichrysum to remove that time, that experience to go, okay, well, yes, you went through that experience. However, there was a lesson to learn, and now you have the wisdom to make different choices and to make
Mhm.
a different, like choose a different way. So each one of the experiences we've had is important because it teaches us and it helps us transform and move forward. If it was just sunshine and roses, we wouldn't have anything to gauge that life is awesome because we didn't have the other end of that. But
Mhm.
because we do, it's like, okay, well, that didn't work. It's just like Thomas Edison. He's like, I haven't failed. I know 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb. So imagine if he had quit going, screw this isn't going to work. Imagine where we'd be.
Right.
Hmm,
Absolutely.
wouldn't be too good. So keep at it and using the Helichrysum to help release. These oils are here to help us on so many different levels. So releasing those experiences, having gratitude for the lesson that it taught you so that you can go on and make new choices and create the life you want. So
Hmm.
thank
Yeah.
you for that. And the last
Oh,
one,
can I pause for a sec? Sorry.
yeah, sure.
Sorry for you
That's
Canadian
okay.
folks.
No
That
problem.
was So I just have to recognize that you just talked. I don't believe that you've ever actually talked about Edison before, but that you just happened to bring him in as an example today. literally that's what I was listening to this morning before we started today. I've been up a little early. Um, and it was Napoleon Hill. There's a whole bunch of new archives that they're uncovering that they're now publishing. And so
Ooh,
the new book that I was on the audio listening to, and it was one of the parts of the that he was bringing in the example of Edison and walking that all through, and that um, it was Carnegie actually that was telling him about the whole process and how um, Carnegie brought that into how he worked and brought in imagination stuff. So um, I just
that's
found that
awesome.
fascinating that you had that validation. So thanks for that. That was awesome.
And another validation, I found a Dale Carnegie course manual this weekend, which I scooped up in a hurry and
Nice.
grabbed that. Yeah, so very, very cool.
Well, there's the validation on both. That's
And
awesome.
see how the universe, like the universe put that book in my sight. And I was out with my friend and we were going thrift store shopping. And I always look at the books, always, always, always. And that's where I found it. So all of these things are happening and the signs are just popping in to go, yeah, you're on the right path. And it takes time for the universe to do that. So that's just another sign for you to show that when you're doing this, it just things pop in and you go, well, isn't that interesting? Just like
Right.
when we do the what if afterwards, it
Hmm.
ties so well into what we're doing at Nature's Divas. And I'm
Hmm.
choosing these cards. I shuffle the cards. This isn't pre-done that I run through this. I just ask and I open the book and that's it. So the universe is guiding me on what I'm choosing, what pops out for me. So it's just a really cool thing to see as this progresses. And the
Hmm.
more you do it, the more things come up. And it's just you're in coherence with your heart and your soul, and things just fall into place, which is really, really cool.
So fun.
So,
Okay, sorry.
oh, you
Go
got
ahead.
another one? Nope.
Nope.
So the last one is Ginger, and this is how everything is going to turn out. So let's see what Ginger's got to say. Oh, this is funny. I am Ginger. I grow in the dark, in the depths of the soil. Many quit when results are not forthcoming. Who said that today? I think I remember hearing this earlier today.
Oh, that's great.
Yet, if you are patient, not for your time, but universal time, things begin to happen. A plant sprout bursts forth from the ground after the root system is strong in the dark soil. The stem extends upward, providing nourishment, just as the steps we continue taking to nourish our dreams. Have you begun a project and are not seeing the rewards? Are you trying to rush something that needs more time? Wow.
Wow.
If that's not a sign on,
Good God. Seriously. Word for word. Seriously, that you
yeah,
literally just said it. And now you're reading it.
exactly.
I love it.
So the universe is driving home today like, hey, get some goals, believe, believe with all your heart and your soul that I am doing what it needs to do in the background to make this
Hmm.
happen better than you could ever imagine.
Right.
But please don't put the brakes on by not having faith.
Hmm.
Have that faith, have that knowing within you that everything is going to turn out better than you could have ever imagined. But you need to continue to have that faith so that you can,
Yeah.
so it continues in the background. Because as soon as you have that thought just like laser beams out to the universe, and the universe is like,
Hmm.
all right, you don't want it, fine, we're done.
Hmm. Yeah. And
So,
how many of us do that, with
oh,
our goals, and because we do get stuck in that not our timing.
mm-hmm.
And Shoo-wee. It's we stop it before it can even be done, and that's usually when folks, like you actually said that too earlier, was they, well, this doesn't work. No, it's you're not working with it. It's never the case the universe doesn't, answer the prayer or the request or whatever you're working with or hoping to work with them. But that trust, I'm going to use the word trust instead of faith, pretty much the same. But um, some folks, the faith part is a different definition, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if I trust that the energy's on its way, that it has already been in motion, I trust in the process, I trust in whatever those affirmations are that I've been working on and towards and reminding myself, I'm going to trust that that's the only way that it can be. There's no option. There's no other option. I'm trusting that is my reality. And when we can come in with that kind of conviction, it clears out any and all of the static. So then I know that I put it in the ground. I know that we've watered it. I know I've done exactly what it was supposed to do. I trust I'm going to have, that plant have its vegetable or its whatever it is that's growing. Whatever the harvest is supposed to be from that. I trust that I'm going to be able to have that, and that is just the way that it works. We've seen it
Mm-hmm.
over and over, so who are we to think that, well, because I planted it, it's not? Probably not. No. Whose truth is that? Um, so kind of looking at where that is, what is standing in the way of that actually being your truth? Not a wish, but your truth, because there's a vast difference in um, the distance between a wish and faith or a trust is where we usually get lost. So as we're wondering how that's going to happen, I can have faith that it's going to happen, but how? How's that going to work? Because then I can really get behind that idea. That's not how the universe works. So that tells the universe you're not trusting that it's going to provide. So it's going to continue giving you more opportunities to not trust because that's what you're
Mm-hmm.
focused on. Okay, well, if that works for you, knock it off.
Yep. Cut it out. Stop it.
Ginger. That's fun.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so great.
So trust in your goals. And I love that word too, trust, because it's a strong, I'm trusting that this is on its way. I'm trusting that I already have it because there is no time. Everything's happening right now. So when you think of, I know I have this right now, then the universe is like, yes, you do. And now we're just catching up in the background to get everything aligned so that it flows and it is awesome. So thank you everybody for being here today on this episode of Conversations with the Devas. Thank you so much, Dr. Dave, for being here. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you for the morning and
So
have
much fun.
some
Thank
fun.
you.
And we will be right back with What If and talking about positive possibilities. So, wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful day. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.